Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 30 Day 30 Book Summaries. So, today's book is a very special book that I'm going to share with you. Reason being, this book was suggested to me by my father when I was in college. So, he had read this book, and I don't know, I was into reading a long time before that, but somehow he felt it was the apt time to give me that book. And after reading that book, and maybe now reflecting at the past, I understand why. So wait till the end of the summary to know why it's so important. And let's move on with today's summary. So today's summary is about the book called The Fountainhead. It's written by Anne Rind and it's a novel. It's a fiction story. Okay, so it explores the themes of individualism and the struggle for artistic integrity. The story revolves around characters of Howard Rourke, who is an idealistic architect who refuses to compromise his artistic vision. So Rourke is constantly at odds with his architectural establishment, which values conformity and tradition over innovation and originality. Rogue's struggle is paralleled by the story of Peter Keating, who is also a fellow architect, who is more concerned with gaining social status and than he is into creating meaningful art. And the novel climaxes with a dramatic trial in which Rogue defends his right to design buildings according to his own principles. Now, before I give you the key takeaways of this book, understand that when this book was written, it was kind of a literary disruption because the storyline of this book is all about not confirming, not doing the things the conventional way. So, why literature is being given so much importance all of the time is because ideas float from literature, and this is one of those books that was rebellious in nature when it comes to the literary aspect. So the writing style of the author is so amazing that the first time the character of Howard Rook is described to you, you will actually fall in love with that character. Just the physical description itself, the mental capability description itself makes you curious to know what is happening more about it. Okay, and the simplified version of this novel that you're getting today is is not the novel in itself, in a manner that it's about 6 to 700 pages thick book with such a minor font that I it's a good thing that if you get curious and you want to read, but you need time to put into this book because it's not an easy book. The way it moves, the story moves, you can fall out of the connect very often. So until you have some time at hand every single day and you can continue the read, don't pick up this book. You will not do a justice to yourself or the book. Now let's move on to the takeaways. So the takeaways, one would be individualism. So the book celebrates individualism to of as the key to human progress and happiness. Okay, something that all of us are working towards. Then it argues that most important thing in life is to be true to your own self and pursue your own values regardless of the opinion of others. I think this must be ringing a bell to most of you. Then it's about artistic integrity. So it emphasizes the importance of artistic integrity and the need to create meaningful art that reflects your vision and values. It story suggests that true artists must be willing to take the risks to stand up to the establishment in order to pursue their creative vision. This is one of the reasons why my father suggested me this book, because this is one of the subtextual and literal key takeaways of this book. And when you are in college, you are building on your concepts, and your professional journey actually starts with your higher studies. And this having this concept in your mind can help you out a lot. So any of you who has a child in that age, a formidable age of maybe grade 11, 12, or college, or a niece or a nephew or a friend's sibling who is at that age, suggest this book to them, because this book gives them a holistic approach to a lot of things that they don't know yet, but which will be very important for them in a very near future in their timeline. This book also talks about capitalism and the economic system, and how capitalism can sometimes, yeah, actually suppress art or creativity or potential of individuals. Then definitely it talks about non-conformity. The underlying theme is that it emphasizes that you should resist the societal pressure and do not conform to norms and conventions if you are willing to stand apart, you should have the courage to see it through. Then objectivism, it talks about objectivist philosophy, which argues that the ultimate standard of morality is the pursuit of one's own rational self interest. Okay, so it suggests that individuals must be guided by reason and their own judgment rather than by tradition, authority, or others' opinions. So today I'm going to try something new in the summary. I'm going to give you some character takeaways as well. So this book is something where there are a lot of strong characters. So as an author, it's commendable because it's not easy to have more than one strong characters in your book. However, in this case, we do have, and if you actually go and read this book or you take these takeaways seriously, you will realize they are, you can relate these to your official or work surroundings of how people are, and how the story in the book takes them to different places, and how in your personal lives these people react differently, and the paths change. So firstly, we'll talk about Howard Roark. He's the protagonist of the novel. He embodies the virtues of individualism, artistic integrity, non-conformity, and he's uncompromising. He's an idealist person who will not compromise for against his vision for anything, and he faces opposition and persecution for it. He stands for his own right. Then there is Peter Keating, who is, he represents the opposite values of what Howard Roark is showing you. So he will conform for the social status, for, and he'll be insincere. He's willing to compromise his artistic vision just in order to gain approval of others. Like we say about people pleasers, there are people pleasers in all work environments, isn't it? And how ultimately that is a tragic character in the book. Then there is Ellsworth in the book. He's a antagonist, and he represents the forces of collectivism and conformity. So basically, he's representing the society, to simplify. He is a manipulative intellectual who is trying to control the opinions of others in order to gain power and influence. So the power structure of the society is through this character. Then there's Dominique, who is Rourke's Howard's love interest. She is embodies conflict between individualism and conformity, a place where most of us are. So Dominique initially opposes Rourke's vision, but she ultimately comes to see the value of his ideals, and then she becomes his ally. So it's about progress of an individual from one place to another. And then lastly, I'll talk about Gail. Gail is the owner of a powerful newspaper in the book. He represents the potential for individualism and creativity to be corrupted by the desire of power and influence. So he seeks Rogue as a threat to his power, but ultimately he comes to admire and respect Howard Rogue's integrity and artistic vision. So these were five very powerful characters in the book, and I hope that you have been able to relate to something, some character of this book. If you have time, do go and read this book. If not, let me know if you need a more detailed summary, and I can do some more justice in under 10 minutes about this beautiful, beautiful book. But please do suggest it to others, especially the target audience I have mentioned, because it really, really does help. That's all for me for today. Thank you so much for listening in. Until next time, goodbye and take care.